Good morning, Nigerians. Welcome to Kakaaki Social. I am Ohimaya Maize. On this segment of the show, we spotlight the issues that shape conversations in the Nigerian social media. So let's take a look at what's trending. Is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, PDP presidential candidate, now finally traveling to the United States? Is he actually out of the country? Well, these and more are some of the speculations that were on the social media over the past few days. There was a report that was filed exclusively by the cable that the former vice president has gotten his U.S. visa and is already away out of the country. So is Atiku has he actually gotten his U.S. visa and is he already out of Nigeria? Well, let's take a look at how that development panned out in the social media over the past 48 hours. Exclusive, Atiku finally gets U.S. visa, jets out of Nigeria. This was the cable report on Saturday. Let's take a look at excerpts from that report. Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, has finally been issued a visa to the United States. The cable can report. A family source disclosed this to the cable on Saturday and confirmed that the former vice president has left Nigeria for the UK, where he will spend some time before flying to the US. This report sparked off a firestorm of reactions. The former vice president supporters of the PDP jumped on this issue. They were really celebrating this. We saw this tweet from Starleaf, tweeting said, first, they hope Atiku doesn't get PDP tickets. Then they hope PDP primaries cause rancor and all the losers turn against Atiku. Then Atiku is a thief propaganda. Nigerians tell them we not care. Then Atiku can't visit US. Now Atiku has been offered US visa. What next? From Starlife, Twitter user, we saw that tweet from Farouk Berugi. APC first said Atiku couldn't get a US visa. When they heard he might get it, they begged the US government not to give him. Now that he's got it, they say he has shelved his visit for fear of arrest upon arrival in the US. When he finally visits and returns, APC would have bolstered his victory. From Farouk Berugi, we saw that tweet. Daily Momodu tweeting said, I'm excited that those who used America as criteria for qualification to Nigeria's presidency are now singing a different tune. Atiku on my mind. International diplomacy is different from local championship. When God has blessed you, please don't block others. But has Atiku really gotten his US visa, and was he really already out of the country as was being reported by the cable? Well, one of his spokespersons, Paul Ibe, actually tweeting at Omon Lakike said Heichi Atiku embarked on a private visit to the United Kingdom on Thursday, shortly after the inauguration of his presidential campaign council. He has since returned back to Abuja. So Paul Ibe is saying no, Atiku is not out of the country. He's back to Nigeria. He is not in the UK as was being reported by the cable. And just as that report was also settling down, Daily Independent broke a news yesterday saying, breaking, US didn't grant Atiku visa. Embassy. Well, let's take a look at details of that report from the Daily Independent yesterday. Contrary to reports that the United States has granted visa to the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, after 13 years ban, Independent authoritatively reports that he was never given visa. An embassy source told Independent that US position on Atiku has not changed. The Daily Independent telling us yesterday that Atiku has not been given a US visa. Okay, guys, slow down on the excitement. PDP guys on social media. Okay, now we move on from that issue to the issue of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who took knocks at former US President Barack Obama. In an interview with the BBC that is currently trending in the Nigerian social media, he blamed the former President Barack Obama for undue interference in Nigeria's political process, leading to his loss of the 2015 presidential election. Let's take a look at details of that video, which is trending courtesy of the BBC. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. Former President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, talks frankly about Barack Obama and Chibok girls. Let's take a look at this video courtesy of the BBC, and the comments are followed.
The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if by my own thinking and also the way some other people look at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned.
Okay, these are the words of the former President Goodluck Jonathan speaking
Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter. That tells you something. And we should not sweep these things under the carpet. If a foreign country, whether African country or even America or any other country, interferes with our own elections, we should mention it. Immediately the Chibok issue came up, we expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. How? Why? And of course, the Mrs. Obama received one of those placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a president, of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence system were not strong enough to be able to rescue the girls.
Yeah, former President Goodluck Jonathan breaking his silence on the issue of the abduction of the Chibok girls. He spoke to the BBC, where he also knocked former President of the United States, Barack Obama, for interfering in our elections. Twitter users are already commenting. Fire of Fola tweeting said that, I mean, Obama was cool, but wasn't a great leader. The love he received was only because he was the first black president. He wasn't entirely that amazing. From Olashile Abayomi, that's at Fire of Fola tweeting. From Brown Cookie, he accepted blame for the failure of the Nigerian security agencies to recover the girls. BBC Africa, watch your narrative. It is also hypocritical to accuse the Russians for interfering in the US elections when they were less meddlesome as the Americans were in Nigeria. Our reactions to the video you just watched. Let's take a look at more comments from Nigerians over the weekend from @_EnergyGod. And Obama is crying about Russian intervention. Barack Obama is the worst president US ever produced. Thank goodness for real Donald Trump. He was interfering with other people's government, forgetting that he has election to run, and he taught Trump a lot. From @_EnergyGod, we saw that tweet from @Aero_Senim_. This guy is an embarrassment, never takes responsibility for anything, and is accusing another country's former president of something without any proof. And some are drawing parallels with Russia's intervention in US elections. Well, US has proof. Where is your hero's proof? Calling on supporters of Goodluck Jonathan there. From Grateful Heart 03, as much as I don't like Barack Obama, he didn't undermine GEJ in any way. I saw the video and it doesn't persuade or advise anyone to vote against him. His government was in denial about the girl's abduction. His handling of the situation was very awful and poor. From Grateful Heart 03, we saw that tweet. From that issue, now we move on to this issue that also broke the internet over the past few days. A video of the governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, threatening to deal with Adams Oshomole, APC national chairman. Wow. Talk about politics of change. Well, let's take a look at how that development panned out. Let's take a look at the video, and the comments are followed. Okay, apologies for that short break. We're back. I am in Lemon at tweeting said, I'm saying that the committee that Oshomole sent to Zamfara to come and do his dirty job should never dare set its feet in Zamfara again. If he knows that his mother and father born him well, he should send those people again and see. Governor Abdulaziz Yari, Zamfara State, Chairman, Nigeria Governors Forum. Let's take a look at this video and the comments that followed.
Primaries are to be conducted not by state chairmen.
We are here to declare the governorship result held on the 1st and 2nd of October 2018.
Primaries are to be conducted not by state chairmen.
Dr. Lawan Gary scored 5,396. Mukhtar Shehu Idris scored 310,380 votes.
Primaries are to be conducted by the electoral panel. The results of primaries are to be announced by the returning officers who chairs the panel that are sent to respective states. That is the game. It is not a game of power, it's a game of number.
1. The committee resigned again to Zamfara State. I want to say it categorically. They should never step into Zamfara State for 1 minute. I, Abdulaziz Yari, Governor of Zamfara State, Head of Government, Head of Security, I'm saying that the committee sent by Oshomole to come and do the dirty job, which he resigned again, should never dare come to Zamfara State. And we are ready, including myself, to be taken to graveyard tomorrow. If he know that his mother, father born him, he should send those people to see and his fight to finish.
What has graveyard business got to do with politics? Well, Abdulaziz Yari says he's going to deal with Oshomole. Abu Christian tweeting at Abu Exchange said the Nigerian police should get this man arrested immediately. How can a sitting governor make this kind of statement and still walks free? If it is a PDP governor that makes this kind of statement by now, he should have been behind the bars. Where is Jimo? And then we saw more comments yesterday on this issue from Zubi Ifeaka. Just look at what a governor is saying. APC Nigeria is a mistake Nigerians should never make again. From Zubi Ifeaka, we saw that tweet. And from Ismaila Shaibu tweeting at I_Shaibu, Yari is a drowning man and his end is near. He should come to PDP. That's where he belongs. From Ismaila Shaibu on Twitter, we saw that reaction from Kuma_Tor. Abdulaziz Yari just threatened Oshomole on national TV and nothing is happening. Which kind of nation be this? From at Kuma_Tor, we saw that tweet. And from Chosen Somto, Governor Yari threatening graveyard for Oshomole and his committee. Listen to the gutter language. Please, I need to state clearly to the younger ones, this is not politics. This is witchcraft. Nigerians are saying this is not politics. This is witchcraft. From Joseph Daniel on Facebook also, we saw this post. He said, see what politics has reduced us to in this country. I saw the headlines yesterday, but thought the statement was a joke. Quoting, if his mother and father born him well. Politics is doomed in this country. The governor of Zamfara State threatening to deal with Adams Oshomole. Festus Keyamo says Benue State is for Muhammadu Buhari. Well, he tweeted a video on his Twitter handle at FKyamo, and a video of an APC rally that held in Benue State a couple of weeks ago. And he added some comments on that tweet. Let's take a look at what he tweeted and how Nigerians were reacting to that. He said, this is Benue State that they wanted to use propaganda to overrun. Now, the good and intelligent Benue people are wiser. Watch. He embedded this video. We'll take a look at the video and some of the commentary that followed.
From Benue State University, participants marched through Iocha-U and Boko roads, Nigeria, chanting the slogan, Say Baba, Say Jime. As they walked through nooks and crannies of the city, residents, artisans, market men and women in solidarity joined the rally and pledged their supports.
Call it a mass rally, you may not be wrong. And if you say it's a carnival, you may not be far from the truth, as youths, men and women in this rally converged to register their support for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and his vice, Yemi Osinbajo.
School feeding programs, you look at Anchor Borrowers scheme, you look at rail system, you look at roads, you look at electricity, you look at trade money, market money that is ongoing. There's so much of this social welfare scheme.
After the walk, the people proceeded to the campaign office donated by APC Youth League in the States.
We have a credible leader who is leading by example, and that is President Muhammadu Buhari.
executive members of the Buhari Support Group Center were on ground on behalf of the president.
Baba will do the good, the beautiful, and the best.
Benue is Buhari land. The Mamo crowd has contradicted the normal propaganda that we see from the other side.
Is Buhari land? Nigerians are reacting to that. Suleiman Bala tweeted and said, I am very impressed with them. APC has been vindicated by good people of Benue State. Replying to Festus Keyamo's post on Twitter, from Monday Play, they want their share from you, but actually they are wiser now because they will never vote for APC again. From Monday Play, we saw that tweet, and also from Akko Censor, I am from Benue. Senator Akume did well by mobilizing the crowd. Wait till Atiku comes and you will see. There is always a crowd to welcome anybody. What has Buhari done for Benue people? From Akko Sense, we saw that Twitter from Shamsiddin North HM2. I thought you said on national TV that you don't do social media. But here you are doing this propaganda. God is watching you from above, tweeting in response to Festus Keyamo there. And from Sweet Chantel, this is the only thing Buhari has done for Benue people since 2015. The good and intelligent Benue people are wiser than APC's rented crowd. Hashtag Buhari must go. Embedding those pictures there to that tweet. And we saw also from Elafiku Sunday, I'm from Benue. No, deceive yourself. My people will accept you when you come with money as a ruling party. But when it comes to reality, they will tell you, go to hell. You will see, and I'm saying, you will see what I'm saying at the end of 2019 from Elafiku Sunday. We saw that Twitter. Rights activist Deji Adeyanju, who has been detained, Nigerians have been calling for his release on social media. The hashtag Free Deji Adeyanju has been trending all through the past few days since he was arrested for protesting at the headquarters of the Nigerian Police Force. Let's go on the social media and take a look at how this development is currently panning out. The Nation filed the report yesterday saying that activist Deji Adeyanju faces 10-year imprisonment. According to details of that report, let's take a look at excerpts of that report, which was filed by the Nation News yesterday. Detained activist Deji Adeyanju may be facing a 10-year jail term for his alleged rabid criticism of the federal government and top functionaries, it has been learnt. Top sources within the security and intelligence system confided Deji Adeyanju is likely to be arrested and taken before a federal high court for allegedly contravening aspects of the Cyber Crimes Prohibition, Prevention, etc. Act 2015. This was a report the Nation newspaper filed yesterday. Nigerians undeterred still are commenting on this issue and calling for his release. From Sheun Onigbinde tweeting said, can you imagine? They are already using the Nation newspaper to threaten Deji Adeyanju. He faces 10 years in prison. We need to stand up for this young man. He might sleep once a while as human, but he has done a lot to strengthen our democracy. Hashtag Free Deji Adeyanju from Oluseun and Onigbinde there. From Aliji the Baptist tweeting said, Dear Laolu Akonde, you are a great guy and I have so much respect for you. Please tell the Vice President and his handlers that we are aware of their role in Deji Adeyanju's incarceration, and we urge them to retrace their steps as this will be resisted to conclusion. From Aliji the Baptist, we saw that tweet. And something interesting is happening in the social media right now. A lot of Nigerians who are supporting the call for Deji Adeyanju to be released are changing their profile pictures, their Twitter avatars to images of Deji Adeyanju. They are actually changing their Twitter names to Deji Adeyanju, saying that for one Deji Adeyanju that is arrested and detained by the Nigerian police, thousands more Deji Adeyanju will rise in the social media and their voices will always be heard. Osita Chidoka tweeted and said that Adeyanju Deji is in Kefi prison, a victim of the planned high-handedness and intimidation that will unfold in the coming weeks to stop the Atiku momentum. The script will be revealed as it unfolds. The airport search of Atiku, arrest of Deji, harassment of bankers and businessmen. From Osita Chidoka, we saw that tweet weighing in on the conversation about the arrest and detention of Deji Adeyanju. Abang message tweeting said Deji Adeyanju is detained for asking the Nigerian police to be non-partisan ahead of the 2019 elections. This isn't funny. It does not make sense for a society that practices democracy. Deji needs to be free. This is abuse of power. From Abang Messi, we saw that tweet. And from Sheun Dam, the people advocating for Deji Adeyanju's release are somehow dumb, even after claiming they know due process. So it is Buhari or Shibanjo that ordered for his arrest? When will these people have sense and channel their energy to to the appropriate quarters, bringing a contrary perspective to the conversation. From Adelaja Adeoye tweeting said, my name is Deji Adeonju, and Buhari has detained me for exercising my right to free speech. Still, I rise stronger and braver and bolder. These are commentary in the social media in support of the call for Deji Adeonju to be released. From Integrity 56, a sitting president was called a thief. Nobody was jailed. Prof. Oshibanjo was called Ole, and Adeonju is remanded in prison. For a background, Oshibanjo is a professor of law, a pastor, and a member of a supposed progressive party. Nigeria is doomed with folks like him in power. And we'll take a look at one more tweet on this issue. An angry Nigerian, Justice Osuji, tweeting said, I hereby renounce my membership of Redeemed Christian Church of God. I cannot continue to worship in the same church with Prof. Oshibanjo. The kite and the chick can never trade in the same market. I remain committed to the things of God. And also, of course, yesterday news broke. President Buhari is saying, I'm not a clone. I am not Jubril from Sudan. Well, reactions to this and more coming your way tomorrow on Kakaaki Social. Follow the conversation on our social media platforms at Kakaaki Social on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Kakaaki Social. I am Ohimai Amaize. Handing you over back now to Chikodi and Utivi.